ball spark. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Count with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Good Lipscomb Dealerships Wednesday out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports, right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour. Get into more college football. It won't just be Big 12 Media Days, so all of those out there that take the time to text me and tell me how the Big 12 is JV football, we don't need to talk about that. We'll be more happy. So we'll talk about other teams around the country. Who intrigues you going into this season? Teams, players. Give me a team that's never made the playoff that's going to make it this season, okay? We will hit a little Big 12 Media Days. You see the Monster Energy deal?
Yeah, I did.
Man, you'd think they could have got more than $20 million a year for that. I mean, just a couple of years ago, wasn't FedEx going to give them $200?
I don't recall.
Like they might have missed the boat on that a little bit. But all the Big 12 teams are going to have a Monster Energy patch.
I wonder if FedEx was doing that trying to get Memphis
1 million
into the Big 12.
Yes, for sure. Do you see the tech media guy?
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
There's one good thing that came out of that, and we'll talk about it.
Oklahoma State, I thought all their guys, players, coaches sounded the part.
They made a big deal that Eric Morris got on the radio with them, and I'm over here going, we did that a few weeks ago, but whatever.
I actually texted Jim that. I was like, he was on with us. He was like, really? I'm like, yeah. Kind of a big deal out here. So we got that. Have you seen the World Cup numbers?
I saw that.
Holy
Even in the loss,
Moses. TV numbers are in for the World Cup, and it's not just the U.S. games that are gigantic TV numbers. So what does that mean? I don't know what that means. We can discuss that. Right off the bat here, we've got Keaton Feller with Lipscomb Dealerships. What's up? How are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, just wonderful. Trying to stay cool out there with 100-degree temperatures coming up today. You guys still got some hail sale vehicles, or are we moving on from that?
We do. We're kind of transitioning from that now that a lot of our vehicles are fixed and whatnot, but we're still passing on the insurance savings to the customer. We were able to fix them very, very cheap and effective. Essentially just glue sticked all of them and still give the savings on to the customer. So we're still making great deals there and on to other pastures as well.
So what's the next thing down the pipe here?
It's you get into the heat of July here and everything kind of pops off. So we've got baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie with Chevrolet. Ford is sponsoring all baseball from Little League all the way up to the major leagues. And then, of course, Ram and Dodge are going further towards the extreme sports, with UFC and NASCAR and all of those different things. So a lot of events tied in with sports going on right now in the summertime and great deal. Honestly, I've been in this business 15 years and right now, July, these are some of the best deals I've seen.
Does rodeo count as extreme sport?
Yeah, we're Ram has always been a big part of rodeo and bull riding and all of those different things, and pretty much anything that can hurt you, Ram and Dodge are kind of involved in right now. So yeah, definitely rodeos are coming up with the Butler Rodeo. I think a lot of people remember that. We kind of transitioned from the larger rodeos so that we could allocate more money and budget toward the smaller ones that don't get as much support. And so we're coming on board with a lot of the local rodeos, the Steer Walk Cattle Showdown over there in Leedy. We partner up with those guys on that. And, of course, the Sarah Rodeo, Butler Rodeo, those are all coming up as well. So glad to be able to allocate more funds to some of those smaller ones and kind of get out there and get after it with those guys.
What do you attribute to, like you said, the July, some of the better – is there something that's going on in the business that's making it that way, or is it just the timing is right?
I think it just everybody's in a better mood when the sun's out and it's warm, and of course sports are going on. Everybody's out and about, especially in Elk City, with the sports complex here. So it just nationwide, it's people are, I think, just in a lot better mood to get out and do things, and the manufacturers know that and try to take advantage of that as well. And right now is the time for us to get the most sales that we're going to get all year is in summertime. So they're aware of that, and of course on the dealer side, we're doing things here locally to try and promote that as well, and get as much business as we can, and of course, get as many people in Lipscomb vehicles here locally as possible.
I'm sure month of July too, you see moms and dads, aunts, uncles, whoever, family coming in saying, we need something for a vacation. We need a new car for vacation.
Yeah, and really the biggest thing is service. We had a young lady yesterday at the Dodge store. She's traveling cross country with her 2 kids and 2 cats.
Wow.
And her car broke down, so we're trying to help her get back on the road, and of course, just like you said, everybody's getting ready for vacation. We're offering free pickup and delivery at all the stores right now. We'll come get your car at the office or wherever you're at, service it, bring it back to you. It's really, really convenient. And those guys just go out of their way to take care of everybody here on the local level.
Hanging out here with Keaton Feller of Lipscomb Dealerships. On the service side of things, when it gets hot in the summertime, what are some things that people can look for to kind of get ahead of something major happening?
Yeah, obviously your engines are running hotter in the summertime. If you notice any kind of, ticks or misfires, if it stutters or anything like that, AC is obviously huge for us right now. We've been doing a lot of AC business, and we have all of the expensive machines that take all of the different refrigerants and all of those things. So we're able to take care of just about anything. I mean, I can put refrigerant in my tractor at the dealership. So we've got all of the equipment there, and right now you're seeing a lot of people that their air conditioners are locking up because they're running in overdrive, essentially trying to keep the vehicles cool. So if you turn it down a little bit and that doesn't thaw it out, then you probably need to come see us.
And you do the full service maintenance and all that stuff, right? And that's important because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things are machines. They have to be maintenance. They have to be serviced. We try and do it as cheap as possible for you. And, of course, we keep all of your records in the event that you have a warranty claim or something like that, and they request all of those documents where the vehicle's been serviced. So, it's extremely crucial nowadays with these. They're a cross between computers and mechanical machines, and so you really do have to do software updates. You have to keep the fluids fresh in them, and we keep track of all of that for you if you service them with us.
Do you think because of the advanced technology, it's easier or harder to kind of keep your vehicle on the road?
Technology has its pros and cons, obviously, and people always say they're not made like they used to be, or they're not built like they used to be, and they're really not. They're better. They just have a lot more technology in them. The drive lines and all of those things with technology have metals, and everything has improved. So the drive lines and powertrains are better than they've ever been. You just have, what I tell people is you've got 50 smartphones in your car, and your iPhone, I mean, everybody knows how long your iPhone lasts and the glitches you have and those things. So it helps you get through your daily life easier, but it's going to have the challenges that come with technology, and so you want to keep it updated, software flashed, all of those different things.
It is lake season. People need something to pull their boat and their trailer and everything. I'm sure your guys can say, this is what you want, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're around right now, I'm trying to keep all of them from hooking onto their boats and taking off. So, but yeah, no, it definitely, we've, everybody goes through extensive training on all of the tow capacities and ratings. We had a gentleman yesterday that just bought a camper, and his truck was very undersized for that. So we were able to match him up with exactly what he needed in about 10 minutes at the most. So, I mean, they know the tow capacities, the chassis, how the springs versus coil springs versus leaf springs, all of those different things that go into it that, if you're just looking at 2 trucks side by side on the lot, and they may even share the same sticker price, but one may have coil springs and one may have leaf springs, and they're designed for 2 completely different purposes.
Hanging out with Keaton Feller here of Lipscomb. For you, it's the middle of summertime. Talking about how everything's kind of correlated with sports. What about you? What sports you watching? What sports you attending? What's your daily life or weekly life look like?
I live at the dealership for the most part, but I've got some cows and stuff I go play with, and of course my dad Bobby, his stepdaughter is into all of the softball and everything, so we keep up with her, and and what she's got going on. My daughter she just turned 4 June 30th, so pretty much, it's backyard sports at this point. We're either on the water slides, or she's hitting a t-ball, or chasing a baby calf. Last night we were trying to ride a bike and we crashed multiple times. So she keeps me pretty hooked up at the moment.
Is she gonna want to be like Parker and swing a bat when she gets older?
I think so. We're trying to kind of keep her away from that right now because she's so clumsy. She runs into everything, and if she can't run into it, she'll fall down. So but yeah, she definitely, when she goes and watches Parker play, she comes home and wants to hit the little wiffle ball and all of that stuff. So, but she's big into the gymnastics and dance and all of those things right now. So hopefully we can kind of keep her on the safer side of the sports spectrum.
Are you looking forward to anything coming up? As far as just watching? Are you a football guy? Are you looking forward to that, or just?
Man, I mean, obviously, I drove race cars before I did this, and so I try and catch some of the racing here and there. I don't really watch a lot of the other sports just because of my little one. I can't sit still and watch TV for very long. So I listen to you guys and catch up on what's going on, and of course the daily talking to customers that come in the dealership and things. But I caught maybe 10 minutes of the UFC at the White House. Yeah. I like the extreme sports and stuff as well. So not really privy as to what's going on unless I'm able to tune into you guys and catch up on all of it.
Back to the dealership. It's my turn to give a shout out to Jenna Red. All right, because she helped me out. I was having I won't get too much into it, some paperwork issues between the bank, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I went in there to get my oil changed. I thought, I need to get this straightened out. Walked over, talked to Caleb Keith. He said, let's go talk to Jenna. Took me to Jenna, just like that. She printed off something I needed, took care of it. So shout out to your guys in the office and gals in the office for what they do. Yeah,
Jenna, she has to get a shout out every time we're on the radio here. But but yeah, she's kind of I kind of equate her not quite to the extreme, but she reminds me a lot of Beth from Yellowstone. You kind of want to avoid her at all costs. But
Thanks
if you
for
need
the warning.
if you need something fixed, she's gonna fix it. But otherwise you just kind of duck and roll the other way.
Yeah, when my phone went off as soon as we started talking, I knew exactly who it was. And sure enough, it was her. She said something about her shining personality.
Yeah, it's I think self-proclaimed.
Tell everybody again what kind of deals you guys got going on at all the different the dealerships around.
Yeah, I mean, and right now we're again with vacation season and everything, we're focused heavily on the service side too. So we've got $99 alignments at the Dodge store. Of course, pickup and delivery, and then we've got we got a $49.95 full synthetic oil change on Saturday, and those spots are limited, so we generally book up every Saturday, call during the week, make an appointment. But on the sales side, you've got up to $14,000 off of diesel trucks at the Dodge store right now. Ford is just finished up and wrapped up their employee pricing event, but those deals are still carrying over into major savings over there on that side. GM store has vehicles below employee and supplier price. So it really, whatever your vehicle is, everybody's got their vehicle, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, whatever. But right now is really the time to buy over there. And if you need tires, we're doing price match guarantee within 60 miles in the service department. So, I mean, whether you need sales or service, right now is the time to get it done, especially at Lipscomb, because we're making sure that July is the cheapest time to buy or service your vehicle.
Absolutely. Keaton, thanks so much for joining us and being a part of the show every time you guys stop by. It's Definitely. Always a good conversation.
Yeah, and thank you guys, and we're glad to sponsor and be a part of it, and obviously, right here in town, we enjoy coming over and visiting with you guys and being on the air. So
absolutely, and just keep Jenna in line if you can.
Yeah, and let us know if you got any openings there. She might want to come over here sometimes part-time or something.
Not after the Beth Dutton comparison. I'm like,
she must be busy. I can't believe we didn't get a comment after that one.
She's probably too mad to type right now with her thumbs.
Keaton, great job. Fun times as always. Lipscomb dealerships. It is a Lipscomb Wednesday. We'll continue to roll on talking about that. And when we come back, the World Cup numbers are astounding, but what does it mean? Skinny on Sports, hanging out on the Sports Animal.
Hi, this is Keaton Feller again with Lipscomb Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Elk City. We're on pace to break our record for new car sales, and what that means is that we've got every vehicle out here discounted to the max. We've got up to 15% off of trucks. Some of them are $10,000 off or more, and we're stocking trucks equipped and ready for you to feed cattle with. We've got brand new trucks rigged out with arm beds, spike beds, grill guards, bumper replacements at Lipscomb Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
The Skinny on Sports.
We've got too far. There's too much to lose. We've got to keep our composure.
Welcome back, Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, The Sports Animal, hanging out here on a Lipscomb Dealerships Wednesday. World Cup. World Cup is dark today. First time we haven't had a World Cup game since it started. Getting ready.
Really?
Yep, it's a dark day. Quarterfinals start tomorrow. France and Morocco will play up in Foxborough tomorrow. In the quarterfinals, 6 of the 8 quarterfinalists are European teams, with only Morocco and Argentina breaking that mold. That game yesterday, did you watch Argentina and Egypt?
Not until not until I walked in your office and I realized, the game.
It was.
And then you were just glowing, like, did you see that?
If soccer was like the last 13 minutes, people would watch. I say that, but the whole point of talking about the soccer today is because the ratings are out for the U.S. and Belgium game.
Now, I bet they wish they're playing today with the ratings. The ratings have been through the roof, but that game particularly was setting records, right?
42 million watched that game. 30 on Fox, 12 on Telemundo. Here in the U.S. Just for a comparison's sake of that, just fire out sporting events that you think might have gotten 42 million viewers.
Well, Super Bowl
gets like 125.
120 every time. So
outside
that's
of
an
Super
easy
Bowl,
one.
outside of Super Bowl,
a sporting event?
Mm-hmm. That's gotten 42 million viewers.
I can't think of one, honestly. Not even a Game 7 in the NBA Finals or World Series would bring in that much. Maybe a gold medal game hockey, maybe, depending who's playing in it. I wonder what U.S. and Canada brought in. I'd have to look it up. I can't think of anything that would compare to that.
Keaton? Got anything, Keaton?
My only guess might be the UFC at the White House or some of those, promo fights with Mike Tyson, something like that. I don't think the Daytona 500 brings in that much. Indianapolis 500. I'm not sure. I don't know how.
If the UFC fight at the White House brought in 40 million viewers, the owners of the Paramount Plus network, whatever, would be swimming like Scrooge McDuck in money. I mean, that's why I didn't have that channel, so I wasn't able to watch it.
Yeah.
So no, I can't think of anything.
Globally, 34 million for the UFC 250.
That's not bad.
United States, 8.2. That's what's the crazy number about this. This is here.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you're having a hard time figuring anything out?
Because it's never been done.
Because it's more people watched that soccer match than any college football game of all time, NBA game of all time, Major League Baseball game of all time, NHL game of all time. The only thing that can compare is NFL playoff football.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That compare with that, which it's so there's obviously a thirst somewhere. I mean, in the United States, there's a thirst for soccer if that many people are watching, or is there? Is it for soccer, or was it a chance to root for the USA itself?
I think that helps when it's the USA team. The whole country is unified, wanting to see them win and watch them. It's not, say the Chiefs versus the Patriots in a playoff game. A lot of, you got obviously all your Patriot fans are tuning in, your Chiefs fans are tuning in, but there's still a large number there of neutral fans that may or may not be watching. In this case, we're all fans of America. We're all wanting to watch it. Or in some cases, people go, I want to watch them lose too. Like I said about Patriots and Chiefs, I will root for against a team or something. Or the Eagles, for instance, Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm tuning in to root for whoever they're playing.
Yeah. It's
as a Cowboys fan.
Okay, so and this was the round of 16. Drawing a number like that. So that's akin to what, the wild card round in the NFL playoffs?
Yeah.
What does the U.S. in a World Cup final, what's that number? Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You really think?
Yes, I do. I really do.
You think 125 million people would watch a soccer match if the U.S. was in the World Cup final? It's hard not to agree with you because of what we're seeing.
The longer the U.S. were having success in this thing,
it was going up.
It was going up, and you know how I kind of gauge it by when my wife has asked me, "When did the U.S. play again? Are we watching it tonight?" Like, what does my wife care about soccer? That's when I know. Oh, it moved the needle. If my wife is paying attention, and therefore my kids start to pay attention, then I know, okay, this is something big.
All right, so the difference between the Bosnia match and the Belgium match was only 3.6 million. Because there was 26.4 million viewers on Fox versus 30 for the Belgium match. And then 9.8 Telemundo versus 12. So combined 36 million versus combined 42. So I guess 6 million difference. That's still a long ways from a Super Bowl number, but at the same time, we all know how that those things build, right? Mm-hmm. With the momentum, especially just because it's the American team. It's crazy.
And I know for me,
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, when it's an event that happens every 4 years, I'm like, oh, I better watch now because it won't be back until another 4 years. So I think there's some of that playing into those numbers.
Yeah, that's probably true as well.
Like urgency. Like, we better watch it. This only happens once every 4 years.
That's probably true.
So that's why I brought up gold medal game USA Canada in the Olympics. I'm sure it's not as big as I think it could be. You're looking it up. But once in every 4 years event, two of the countries that, obviously America and then Canada, a hockey country. You got numbers there?
Yeah.
Was it big?
34 million.
There you go. See?
That was back in 1980.
Oh, that was a 1980 game?
That's the 1980 game.
Oh, wow.
U.S. Oh, I thought you said Russia. You're talking about Canada.
Well, that's still impressive for a game in 1980.
1980.
That is impressive.
I didn't even know they had TVs in 1980.
That's right.
They did. They had 3 channels, and that's all they had.
It might have been the whole country back then.
CBS,
what did
NBC,
you want?
And the latest gold medal game between the United States and Canada. Was that this last winter?
I think so.
Yeah. In Italy?
Yeah, it was in Italy.
What'd that bring in?
26.
Not respectable.
Think about that. The 1980 now. Wasn't that during the day though?
Yeah.
The match was actually, or the hockey game was actually during the day.
It helped in 1980.
It was at night.
It was at night. It was live, not a tape delay. It was on American soil.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, everything that's going on politically. Yeah.
Yeah, 26 million. So the 1980 one had more people than this last one in 2026. Yeah, just not that long ago. It's pretty crazy, but still, the World Cup is even outdone all of that.
Have you been watching any soccer, Keaton?
No.
Okay.
I am not a soccer fan. Now, my wife is a huge football fan, particularly Tom Brady, of course. But even though he's retired, she's still a big fan. He still wins every week. But anyways, no, I've never really gotten into soccer. Of course, like I said, my daughter, she's got a little setup with goals and stuff, so I may get into soccer whether I like it or not.
You know, that's the beauty of soccer is it doesn't last long.
Yeah, I'm hoping not.
That's the beauty of it. But those numbers are astounding to me. What does it say to you guys? Does it say that there actually is an appetite for soccer in this country, or is it more just the effect of, hey, the World Cup is here for the first time since 1994, let's check it out, and oh, by the way, the U.S. was better than we thought?
I think it's the latter. I think we're going to see kind of like what happened in the Belgium game is, okay, this is when's football season? When's American football season? I mean, I hate to be Debbie Downer, and I would love the idea of America grasping onto soccer. And there are pockets in this country that really love soccer. And Seattle's one of them. You know, you ever seen the Sounds? Seattle Sounds, their attendance is through the roof. The MLS club that they have. But as a country as a whole, it's just not grabbing. It's just not grabbing the interest.
Yeah, I think everybody, you know, right now craves a sense of unity, given the past few years, and anything that you can rally around America and unify and support the country. I think that's what people are looking for, and why you see, you know, from the automotive manufacturers, I think there's a reel going viral right now from Dodge and Ram where they had all of the extreme sports guys, Travis Pastrana and Rocker Steiner, the bucking horse rider, and all of those things. They just made a huge video, you know, with the American flag, the biggest one I've ever seen, and red and white and blue smoke up in the air and Black Hawk helicopters. And, you know, I think everybody's just really trying to, you know, it's a relief to kind of unify again, given all of the issues over the past few years that kind of separated everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think the 250th anniversary of the country being formed has something to do with that as well, making you feel a little bit more patriotic in all across the country, not just in the places that feel that way normally. Here, you know, there's other places where it seems like that has meant a little bit more than maybe it normally would. Yeah, there's tons of factors I think that all go into it. And unfortunately, I don't know down the pecking order where the actual game of soccer sits. I don't think it's at the top. I think it's on down the way a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's more, you know, more people here from Europe and stuff than there were, you know, years ago as well. That is a primary sport for those people, and so you probably do have a lot more viewers that are just watching it for soccer than in years past. But
I think one of the coolest things about this has been looking on social media and seeing mainly Europeans coming over for this event and realizing we've been lied to because this place is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not what we were told it was going to be coming over. And I think that's been, you know, just the country as a whole, I think, has put their best foot forward and really done a really good job of having, you know, the hospitality and all that kind of thing. And at least online, the Europeans are shocked. I mean, I had no idea that ranch dressing would be a thing, but I heard Jim say this yesterday. If somebody doesn't have like a tanker full of ranch dressing headed to Europe right now, they're missing an opportunity.
Yep.
I guess airlines are telling Europeans, please don't try to smuggle ranch dressing into your carry-on. It's considered a liquid. You can't do it.
It is crazy. Just the things, that's what's been funny to me to watch was the things that we take completely for granted and don't even think about. I mean, they're going crazy for.
Yeah. Brisket.
Europe's going to be obese next week.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our secret plan. We're going to get all the Europeans fat, and then we can catch up with them on soccer. That's our plan.
Yeah, it's been awesome. That part of it's been awesome.
I love that. Ship them a tanker full of ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing. They like it. They definitely like it. All right, let's step aside for just a little bit. When we come back, hit some college football stuff. to wrap up the show. Big 12 stuff.
We'll talk
around
tortillas
the country.
coming up next.
Tortillas, paddles. The poor guy from Tech made a joke of himself. It was a fun day yesterday.
So make the short drive to savings. You want to go to Lipscomb Ford and Sayre. It's a very short drive, but it's a lot of savings. They drive to Sayre, Oklahoma because there's never a dock fee. There's no gimmicks. Great selection. Nobody's a number. You're an actual person, a customer. If you go to Lipscomb Ford, you're not going to regret it. You're going to save a lot of money. Compared to most Ford dealers, the low overhead over there saves our customers money. The selection's great. The people are great. Lipscomb Ford, Sayre, Oklahoma. It's the only choice for a new Ford.
The Skinny on Sports.
Welcome back. Lipscomb Dealership Wednesday. Skinny on Sports. Hanging out here inside the studio, 98.1 FM. The Sports Animal. Big 12 Media Days yesterday and today. I know they had Mark and Cale were down there. The guys from the city that you'll hear from as soon as we get off here. Lots of podcasts of interviews with the OSU players. Eric Morris, I know, stopped by there later on at night, I think. And just tons of people. I heard they had Willie Fritz, the head coach at Houston, on, Joey McGuire. Tons of people. I think L.J. Martin, the running back, the preseason Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, running back from BYU. So there's lots of stuff on the Sports Animals podcast page on their website. So if you missed any of that, go check that out. They did a heck of a job. Just a constant flow of different athletes and coaches down there, and I'm sure that may be what we get again today from Big 12 Media Days there in Frisco at the Star in Texas. The news that came out as far as national news from Big 12 Media Days, the conference has signed a deal with Monster Energy. It's a $20 million a year deal. The major things you'll see from that is each of the Big 12 football schools are going to have patches, Monster Energy patches, on their uniforms. So that will be front and center with the patch. That's something that I think it's coming for about everybody eventually. Mm-hmm. You know, Oklahoma State had already signed the deal with the Osage, so that they may have multiple patches on their uniforms.
No offense to NASCAR.
I knew what was coming. I knew it.
I mean, that's kind of where
eventually we're going to have to look hard for the school logo.
Yeah, I saw a joke on Twitter earlier about the Big 12 championship brought to you by Monster Energy and Dr. Pepper and just the whole thing, with the different things. But I think that's in this NIL world that we live in and trying to generate revenue any way that you possibly can. I do think that's not going to just be a Big 12 thing. Eventually, that's going to be a across the country thing as far as those advertising deals for the conferences.
Yeah, I mean, money drives everything. So, and if we're in this world where the one with the most money gets the best, I mean, it's going to happen. OU did it very subtly with the branding on the field, the Riverwind, right? Riverwind on the field. And I didn't notice it until about midway in the season. You could see it about the 2025, and it just, it was a long run happening. And I realized, is that superimposed or is that actually on the field? It is actually on the field. That kind of went under my radar, but everybody's going to do it. And they were talking about before us, like, who or when do we start seeing patches on SEC or Big Ten schools' jerseys? Will the conference allow it? Like, will Sankey go, no, not in our league?
Yeah, right. Hey, I tell you when somebody offers the dollar amount that they're looking for.
Right. Well, I meant like individually, like the OSU with the Osage Nation striking a deal and doing that. Let's say it's a Mississippi State, probably not one of the big ones. Like, hey, we got an opportunity here to put Duke's Mayo on our jersey. Will Sankey go, no, not. There's no Mississippi State. It's like, you can't stop us. We're striking this deal.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, and it's funny you guys correlated that to NASCAR because, my experience and the reason I'm not racing anymore, when NASCAR made that transition after the collapse of the economy in 2008, it's really killed the sport. It's hurt the sport because if you're watching as a fan, the teams with the most money win every week. There's 5 or 6 guys that win just about every week. So now they're actually taking advertisements to cover up the empty bleachers in the grandstands because it's become boring, for lack of a better term.
No parity there anymore.
Yeah, when the same guys are winning and there's really no competition. There's 43 cars out there and 5 or 6 are going to have a chance to win. In the long term, I think it's detrimental to the sport, obviously, and if they don't see that with NASCAR, then maybe something they might want to take a look at.
So when you say explain to everybody what the difference was going into the financial collapse and coming out of it as far as NASCAR goes.
Yeah, so it was just like any other sport. If the guy with the most talent was going to climb the ladder and go up through the ranks, and there was a lot of local tracks that people could start following guys that were racing and progressing through the ranks and everything. And then when that happened and what ended my career ultimately, I had a 15-year deal with an agency there, and then the sponsors pulled back, and so all of a sudden those teams, it's very expensive to race stock cars, and so those teams still needed funding, and so they started taking in drivers that could just pay their way, and it became a sport, it became a business rather than a sport based on talent. And nowadays, I mean, you could go race NASCARs this weekend if you brought $20 million. They don't care. It's purely money. It's just a business. And so you don't really see the guys coming up like the Jeff Gordons and Dale Earnhardts and what really built that sport anymore. It's all of a sudden it's some guy whose father is the CEO of a casino in Las Vegas that, went from go-karts to full-size 800 horsepower stock cars. And so it just, it became, you lost engagement from fans. And then, like I said, it's gotten to the point now, if you tune in every week, you watch a 4-hour race and the same couple guys wins every week, pretty soon you start losing viewers and all of those things, advertisers.
So essentially the advertising dollars got replaced by daddy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Of that's yeah. And in that, and for those, I mean, NASCAR used to get huge numbers on TV. Mm-hmm. I mean, but for that segment of the fan base of sports in America, that doesn't sit well. I absolutely see why, because that doesn't sit well with them.
Yeah, it and when I was in the position I was in the driver development team that I was racing for, I was replaced by Joey Logano, who drives the Pennzoil 22 now. But yeah, essentially his dad was a huge, significant business guy, sold some shares in some companies and things, wrote the check, got in the car. Of course, he makes a lot of money now driving race cars, but that's kind of the entry point anymore is who can write the biggest check. My former agent's son drives for Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now. Mm-hmm. He drives the number 8 car in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, but same thing, he's got Pilot Travel Centers, TMC Transportation, a lot of big name companies that are backing that deal. And if that gets pulled away, you're done. You're retired and you're selling cars in Western Oklahoma.
Not a bad deal.
Hey, I don't have as many headaches and body aches and stuff anymore. So
that's very, very interesting to think about, because one of the things as the NASCAR boom was kind of going back in the 80s, 90s for sure, into the 2000s, was those stories of guys racing around on dirt tracks wherever they came from, and figuring it out and moving up through like American sports.
Started with moonshiners.
All the way back. Yeah.
It was cool.
It's too bad in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean that it kind of went away from that. Boy, the Texas Tech contingent. Honestly, the contingent seemed okay, and at least the players and Joey McGuire. But boy, the media, the Texas Tech media is upset.
They're digging in, aren't they?
They are digging in, and if anybody's going to dig in, it's better it be them than the actual guys. But to compare, I mean, I never thought we'd be talking about tortillas and the paddle guys at OSU games coming out of Big 12 Media Days, but here we are.
So the media guy was trying to say you banned us, Texas Tech, from throwing tortillas, but you gave an exemption to OSU with the noisemaker exemption for their paddles. And then he went on to talk about, Swordsby never stepped foot on campus, and you sued us, and you haven't touched Cincinnati. Which I'm glad he brought up Cincinnati, to be honest, because I thought they and you said it too. They deserve to get looked at, and I think the NCAA is actually doing that. I think something came out just today or last night that they are going to start an investigation into Cincinnati and what they knew with Swordsby. So they're not out of the woods yet. They're not clear, but yeah, the Tech guy. I mean,
I've got it right here.
Just digging in. You got the quote. You got the soundbite.
Sean Dillon, Rockin' Pregame. Commission, Texas Tech got fined over tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU paddles broke an noisemaker rule, has a tradition exemption. Swordsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders. Big 12 sued them anyway, while Cincinnati hasn't been yet touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe it?
Can you sit? Let me come closer to you. Stand up. Ask that question again, and I'm going to give you the answer I want to give you, so go ahead.
Texas Tech got fined for tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU has had paddles that were given a noisemaker exemption back in 2012. Swordsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders, and yet there is a lawsuit. Cincinnati has yet to be touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe them?
No, I didn't say greater than 12. You misquoted me. I said we're going forward as 16 strong, and that's my answer to your question. But thank you for that question. Appreciate it.
He made him stand up like a kid that got in trouble in class.
Yes.
Say that again, young man.
Yes.
And he got more nervous when he was tortillas.
And what's pretty crazy is that guy wrote that question down.
Yeah.
So it was like premeditated that he was going to ask that, not just spur of the moment.
And I get it. He's working for a Texas Tech media outlet. I think their flagship station to be out. So he has to ask those questions. I mean, that is his job, is to protect that brand and pick up that brand and all that of Red Raider. But yeah, he kind of sounded like a clown when he was. He wasn't too confident asking the question.
Was disappointed in Brett Yormark for not answering the Texas Tech question and the Swordsby stuff, saying that it's not the time or place. If the media days isn't the time or place, when is it? That's exactly what that's for.
Right.
Probably expected that answer, or the non-answer, but that was a little bit disappointing because.
But he might have known,
I think he had the chance to just say, hey, we won.
Right.
Going, when it first started, it was like, okay, Tech's running the conference. Cody Campbell runs the Big 12 from Lubbock. And I think he had a chance to beat his chest and go, no. Nobody runs this conference but the conference. Instead, he kind of backed away from it, which is a little bit unfortunate. I thought the OSU guys were good. Like I said earlier, it's a podcast. Man, that Wazlowski was very entertaining, the linebacker. It didn't occur to me when I saw his name, but his brother pitched in the College World Series for OU.
Yeah, I
knew the name. I was like, well, that's familiar. But, yeah, it turns out they're brothers.
Aren't they friends with Mateer, or did I get that?
Something.
Yeah.
So that was pretty entertaining there. Then there's the other half of the conference today, which kind of got what – I mean, the teams that were there yesterday are, to me, the intriguing ones. Now you're just going to kind of get the others.
Yeah. I thought so. Those who were good, I thought Texas Tech's head coach McGuire was good. He said he gave us some stuff not related to the Swordsby situation, but kind of threw more shade at Texas. Like, when are we going to spot the ball? When are we going to do this? I like that. So outside of OSU, the OSU guys were good, but. Yeah, they kind of did that backwards. The teams, the schools that were there yesterday should have been there today.
Yeah, or just split some of them up.
Yeah.
Maybe that way. All right. Let's look around the country. Who are some teams around the country that intrigue you going into this this college football season?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I wrote down a few, and I was thinking that.
Yeah, because of head coaching changes, and the number one is LSU, and you can kind of put LSU Team A and Ole Miss Team B as two very intriguing. With Kiffin going to LSU, they're trying to get back to their high standards of winning. And then there's Ole Miss. They got Chambliss back. They're still a pretty dang good team. So that's intriguing to me. Penn State.
I had that one too.
With Campbell over there, and he great success with what he had to work with at Iowa State. Arguably not even the biggest school in his state, and had a lot of success in the Big 12. Can he do what he did at Iowa State? But, that's intriguing to me because if you think about it, yeah, he got to Big 12 conference championship games but never could win them.
Yeah, but it was Iowa State.
It was Iowa State. You're right. But what if he does that at Penn State, we got to the Big 10 champ. Oh, we lost OSU or Ohio State or Michigan. If it's the same thing but with a different coach, because that's what they're looking for is somebody that can win all the games that you should be winning, but can they get over the hump and beat these top 5 ranked teams that come into Happy Valley or wherever they go? So that's what they're looking for, and that's intriguing to me. OSU is an obvious answer here locally. Oklahoma State. Don't know what we're going to get. We think it's going to be better. On paper, it should be better, especially offensively. But that's intriguing. Florida, Napier, is this a win or go home season for him?
He got fired.
He got fired. I apologize. He did get fired. Yeah.
The guy from Tulane. Summerall.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's still intriguing to me with the coaching change. Yeah, still intriguing. A lot of people, if you see the schedule, like predictions, you're starting to see that come out, and they are putting that like as a loss for OU, going to Florida and losing that game. So, again, Florida, like LSU, like Ole Miss, high expectations to see what they can do. And then the defending champs, Indiana, what do they do with the new quarterback? Was it because the quarterback is why they had success last 2 years? Is it their coach? Was it both? Just a perfect marriage. Now with the new quarterback, as defending champs, I've talked about the big target now they're going to have on their back. They're not going to come in sneaking in underneath anybody's radar. They've got everybody's attention, and they'll get everybody's best shot. How do they handle that as the defending champs? So that's who I have on my list.
Yeah, that's basically the exact same team. So I can't believe that.
Keaton?
Nope, got nothing.
Indiana's schedule gets harder than it has been, at least in the conference, with some of the bigger name teams, and just can that continue? What about players? On the player side, I put Jaden Maiava, quarterback out at USC.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, anybody that spent as much time with Lincoln Riley as he has is a Heisman finalist, if not a Heisman winner in the history of what Riley's done. So I've got him. It's hard to have players intriguing and not put Arch Manning on there just because Texas looks absolutely loaded for bear, and if he can continue the improvement that we saw midseason on, it's hard to imagine Texas not being in the playoff and having something to say about the SEC and maybe even the national title. And then I put Bryce Underwood. He 5-star from Michigan. Saw him in Norman last year. Struggled a little bit. There were games where he looked awesome. There were games where he looked like a freshman. And so with Kyle Whittingham's system more conducive to running the football from the quarterback spot, he's obviously athletic. How does he fit into that, and can that system actually unlock the potential that he had as a 5-star coming out of high school? So there's a couple of the guys that intrigue me. And then, of course, Chambliss is just the most exciting player there is.
Yeah, the quarterbacks are going to litter this list. If you ask anybody that question, is who's the players that intrigue you? So, yeah, but I'll narrow it down to our state quarterbacks, Messmaker and Mateer. Mateer looking stronger, hearing and seeing reports of his throwing motion has got better, but is his vision better? That was kind of his knock, was he didn't see the field as well as maybe he should. If he can up that, he could. I mean, that's what the season really hangs on, is how is the quarterback and the offense ran at OU, and of course OSU. With Hawkins too is intriguing. That whole dynamic that worked in North Texas, does it work in Stillwater? That's intriguing to me, and it really hinges on those two guys. I like a kid up at Ohio State. You heard a little bit from him throughout Ohio State's run last year, especially later in the year. It's a name everyone's familiar with, Bo Jackson, running back. Yeah. They're kind of pegging him as the next guy at Ohio State as their great running back, and I think this is a year that could he become a household name, more so than Bo was back in late 80s, early 90s. So keep an eye on him. And C.J. Carr, is it, from Notre Dame, another quarterback? And a lot of people have him as a Heisman guy, as right there with, of course, Arch Manning. So those are guys I've kind of kept an eye on, or will be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, quarterback in any football, from Pop Warner all the way to the NFL, is become such an important position. So it's hard to find guys outside of them. All right, what do you got? Team, give me the team that has never made the playoffs that will make the playoffs this year.
BYU.
BYU.
I do think they get in for a multitude of reasons. One, maybe the committee. I think they're good. I think they're going to be good. Like, I'm almost ready to pick them to win the Big 12 good. But if they don't, I think they get in that large end. I think the committee's like, yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on them last year. Let's put them in. So I'll definitely say BYU. That's one I'm thinking of. I'm not ready. I keep wanting to put USC on that list.
That's mine.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me why.
Jade Mayava. I think he has a chance to be the Heisman Trophy winner. And so if that does become the case, that means that USC has had a fantastic season. You look at their schedule, it's not the toughest. If depending on what you think about Penn State, is going to take Matt Campbell a little bit to get it going. That's a road game. At Rutgers, nobody's scared of that one. At Wisconsin, Luke Fickell, speaking of guys on the hot seat, he's got to be.
Yeah.
Surprised he's not fired. And then, at Indiana, host Ohio State, host Oregon, host Washington. I just think
you host the games you want to host.
That's right.
And I think the biggest road game on that schedule is probably Penn State, because Campbell's not scared of Lincoln Riley.
At Indiana.
You think that's harder than
Penn State?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying with the Lincoln Riley and Matt Campbell.
The history there. Yeah, Campbell he's like, I'm not scared of that offense.
But a 10-2, Big Ten teams making it to the playoff.
I went with BYU because of the conference. Because
I'm just afraid you got to win it. We haven't seen the Big 12 get to.
You're right. Yeah.
And maybe that's where the ACC is ahead of the Big Ten.
The Big Ten is like a kind of cannibalistic. You could have a lot of really good teams, and I don't know. That's why I kind of went BYU. Let's give them a spot. But yeah, I could see USC. It's a matter of time, I think, that before Lincoln Riley finally gets one in there, and he better, because. Speaking of hot seats, I'm not suggesting he's on a hot seat, but it's definitely could get warmer every year comes and goes without even a college football playoff appearance. That's why they hired him. So
they got to care.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they care. All right. That'll wrap it up. Got any last words of wisdom, Keaton?
I still think he's just dodging Jenna. I think he's
yeah, I'm just hanging out with you guys to avoid her. Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, we just, we got some really great deals. We want to take care of everybody locally here. Got to give a shout out to our little Ford store over in Sayre too. I think a lot of people forget there's a Ford dealership over there in Sayre. Those guys are actually working on pacing to set a record right now for the month. So great deals over in Sayre. It's a short drive for a lot of savings over there. But yeah, come hang out with us at the rodeos that are coming up. The Butler Rodeo next month. The Sayre Rodeo will follow that. But yeah, we look to be involved in the community and see everybody out and about, and really excited to continue supporting our community here locally, and appreciate you guys having us on the radio show.
Absolutely. Keaton Feller with the Lipscomb dealerships. Of course, you got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep brand store here in Elk City. You've got the GMC Chevy store in Elk City, and as Keaton mentioned, the Ford shop over there in Sayre. Good people making great deals.
That's it.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for shielding me here from Jenna.
You're always welcome.
It's just kind of, it's like the doomsday scenario. Now you got to leave.
yeah. She might be waiting around the corner when I walk up.
I mean, it turns out she does know where we're at. I really appreciate your time. It was fun. Fun times were had by all on this Lipscomb Dealerships Wednesday. Everybody have a great one. Stay cool out there. It's supposed to be scorching hot today. It's been the Skinny on Sports on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered to right. Way